The U.S. Attorney General appeared at a congressional hearing regarding the largest exploitation network targeting young people and brought a binder filled with pre-written personal insults. It was like a middle school kid getting caught cheating and thinking the best defense is to make fun of the teacher's dress. Behind him sat survivors of the network, dressed in white. Some raised their hands to show the Department of Justice that nothing has been done yet. They reached out to them, but they never budged. Admitting it would have meant acknowledging that this administration was standing in the way of powerful men who had harmed them. During the House Judiciary Committee oversight hearing, Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett took her 5 minutes and did something she hadn't really planned. She didn't ask a single question because, as she said, the witness had already made it clear that they had no intention of answering. Instead of answering questions, Crockett laid out facts from the released files, criticized the Department of Justice for prosecuting journalists, and spoke directly to survivors, whom she had previously refused to look at. Then, when a Republican colleague gave her time to respond, she reached for her binder. This was completely predictable.
Questions really quickly of my colleague, Becca Ballant, if she will answer right or wrong, raping children.
Wrong.
Right or wrong, killing random citizens.
Definitely wrong.
Right or wrong, enriching yourself as the sitting president of the United States.
Definitely wrong.
Okay, thank you, because I probably never would have got that with our witness. Our witness who somehow is a lawyer but does not understand how it works with
All right,
witnesses.
thank you, because apparently I might never get those answers from our witness. Our witness who is somehow a lawyer but doesn't seem to understand how witnesses work. I genuinely don't understand what the law is supposed to be here. The school she attended and the cases she has argued. Generally, a witness sits and answers questions. They don't ask them. Lawyers can raise a non-responsive objection when a witness fails to answer the question. Crockett emphasized she wanted to speak to survivors because they are truly the ones that matter. They are not victims, they are survivors. Thank you for having such courage and moral clarity. Your little fingers are more powerful than the entire Department of Justice. We are the laughingstock of the world, partly because of the failed leadership at the DOJ, while watching kings and queens fall around the globe. Yet in this country, we can't even tell the basic difference between right and wrong, and this isn't about political parties. That's why I give credit to Thomas Massie, the only Republican with the courage to stand up against corruption. With that, I yield. Ongoing issues, witness testimony. My Democratic colleagues have been attacked throughout this entire committee hearing. They've been lied about, and frankly, that's not what the American people wanted. They wanted answers about the corruption they see from this administration. In this witness's written testimony, she said that when she took office, she had 2 major goals. 1, to end the political weaponization of the courts, and 2, to return the department to its original state. You have not only lied about both, but deliberately done the opposite. You are spending more taxpayer money going after journalists than prosecuting child abusers and predators. Your boss, the president, has said this administration has taken away freedom of speech, and under your direction, the DOJ moved to arrest Don Lemon and Georgia Fort, and a judge had already rejected the attempt to arrest Don Lemon. Just like the grand jury rejected your case against Senator Kelly, Senator Slicken, Tish James, and Mr. Comey. I don't understand how you are serving as head of the DOJ because you don't appear to be good at your job. You are spending more taxpayer money trying to arrest journalists. From Texas to Cuba, a criminal was convicted for murder, arson, and weapons charges. Meanwhile, when Representative Jerry Nadler asked how many financial aids has the DOJ prosecuted, she refused to answer, citing ongoing investigations. Don Lemon was taken into custody at a Beverly Hills hotel at midnight, yet no aids were prosecuted. This shows that under Pam Bondi's leadership, the DOJ deliberately decides who to punish and who to protect, and it has nothing to do with the law. Journalists reporting on immigration protests are harassed at 2 a.m., while powerful people mentioned in criminal case files are shielded, with their names hidden and personal material exposed. This preferential system is being run as if it's sufficient to manage a federal law enforcement agency. The Transparency Act required the DOJ to release all non-classified documents by December 25, 2025. They missed the deadline by over a month. According to Representative Jamie Raskin, nearly 3 million documents are still being withheld. Survivors attending the hearing said they felt humiliated as the Attorney General read pre-written insults for 5 hours instead of answering substantive questions. Fact 1. Donald Trump is among the most frequently mentioned individuals in the Epstein files, over 38,000 references across at least 5,000 documents. Fact 2. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly provided young women to Trump on multiple occasions. According to a file, Maxwell introduced a young woman to President Trump who spent over 20 minutes talking with her. Another example comes from FBI notes describing a financier bringing a victim to Mar-a-Lago and telling Trump, "This is good." This is public record from original FBI documents. The administration initially refused to release these files until Congress passed the Transparency Act. Crockett's claims about Hakeem Jeffries relate to a 2013 fundraising email. FactCheck.org and ABC News confirm there is no evidence he donated or even knew about the email. It was a routine mass-distributed message. Binder and hearing tactics. When given time to respond, she opened her binder and began counting crimes or personal attacks against Democrats. Thomas Massie reported that she was flipping through flashcards for insults, frustrated to find the right insult. Representative Pamela Gopal noted that the binder contained a printout showing her search history in the secure congressional reading room, potentially tracking which investigative files members of Congress had read, then weaponizing that data during the hearing. According to multiple news sources, during the 5-hour hearing, she refused to answer substantive questions, labeled Democratic questioning as drama, praised the stock market, and personally attacked every Democrat who asked a question. She called Thomas Massie, a Republican and co-author of the Transparency Act, a failed politician, Trump-obsessed, and a hypocrite. Despite evidence of crimes, DOJ went to grand juries but refused to answer basic questions. No new charges were filed against aides. Don Lemon was arrested at midnight, yet no prosecutions followed. DOJ released roughly 3.5 million pages, yet millions remain withheld. Ghislaine Maxwell was quietly moved to a lower security facility. Survivors said they felt humiliated as the Attorney General read pre-written insults for 5 hours instead of answering substantive questions. All of this is about shielding the president from files in which he is mentioned 38,000 times. During the hearing, this was not testimony, it was an audition. She had previously closed a Florida Attorney General case after receiving a donation from the Trump Foundation to her PAC, later returned with a fine. Thomas Massie noted that reporters should expect no answers and be prepared to talk about Dow Jones and NASDAQ, which he called a little crazy. Allegations may arise that DOJ is violating the Transparency Act. A Republican congressman openly stated that the next Attorney General may need to take legal action against the current AG's department. Nearly 3.5 million pages have been released, yet millions more remain withheld. This hearing demonstrates that the DOJ, under Pam Bondi and current leadership, selectively enforces the law, protecting powerful figures while harassing journalists and ignoring survivors. The Transparency Act was passed to ensure accountability, yet the deadline was missed. Survivors were humiliated. Personal insults were read instead of answers. The binder on her desk was organized alphabetically by Democrats brave enough to ask questions, showing that the entire hearing was a premeditated strategy of distraction. She came prepared, just not to answer questions. She proved to be more the burn book type than a student of law.